Hare Krishna. So, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Maharani ki jai. Hare Krishna. So we'll sing a short kirtan before we begin the class today. Jaya Jaya Jagannatha Sachiranandan Tribhuvane kore jar Charana Vandanam. Jaya Jaya Jagannatha Sachiranandan Tribhuvane kare jar Charana Vandam. Jaya Jaya Jagannatha Sachiranandan Tribhuvane kare jar Charana Vandanam. Jaya Jagannatha Tribhuvane kare jar Charana Vandanam. नीलाचल शंखा चक्र गदा पद्मधार नदिया नगरे दंडा कमंडलुका. नीलाचल शंखा चक्र गदा पद्मधार नगरे दंडा नीलाचल शंखा चक्र गदा पद्मधार नदिया नगरे दंडा कमंडलुजार. शंखा चक्र गदा पद्मधार या नगरे दंडा का के हो बोले पूरा बे रावण बधीला गोलोक रावै भवलीला प्रकाश करीला. के हो बोले पुरावे रावण बधीला वैभव लीला. के हो बोले पुरावे रावण बधीला गोलोक रावै भवलीला प्रकाश करीला. के हो बोले पुरावे रावण बधीला गोलोक रावै भवलीला. श्री राधार भावे गौराय अवतार हरे कृष्ण नाम गौरा करिलो प्रचार. श्री राधार भावे गौराय अवतार हरे कृष्ण नाम गौरा करिलो. श्री राधार भावे गौराय अवतार हरे कृष्ण नाम गौरा करिलो प्रचार. धार भावे अवतार हरे कृष्ण नाम गौरा करिलो प्रचार. वासुदेव घोषा बोले करी जोड़े हाथ जय गौर से कृष्ण से जगन्नाथ देव घोषा बोले करी जोड़ी हाथ जय गौर से कृष्ण से जगन्नाथ जय गौर से कृष्ण से जगन्नाथ जय गौर से कृष्ण से जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय. So my humble pranams to all the devotees there at Central New Jersey. Very happy to be back in your forum after a long time. And I hope all of you are safe and happy and blissful in Krishna consciousness. So today we have a very interesting topic. We will be dwelling deep into this Jagannath Ashtakam. And before we do that, just offer prayers to Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani, and then I will begin today's topic. So you can all join your hands in prayer with me. Deva Deva Jagannatha Prapanarti Vinashana Trahimam Pundarikaksha Patitamam Bhavasagare Jaya Devi Bhakti Datri Prasiddha Parameshwari Jaya Devi Subhadratvam Sarvesham Bhadradaine Namaste Tu Halagraha Namaste Musalayudha Namaste Revati Kamta Namaste Bhaktavatsala Sudarshana Mahajwala Koti Surya Samaprabha Agnanati Mirandhanam Vaikuntha Pathapradarshakam Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaya Te Namaha. All glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to ISKCON Vartaman Guru Vrinda, all glories to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Thank you so much. So, the Jagannath fever is very much on here in India still, though it's been a while that the Jagannath Rath Yatra procession was held, but the Ulta Ratha, the Bahuda Yatra just happened 3 days ago, and we've all been very closely watching it live from Jagannath Puri. And just a day before yesterday, I was watching this very beautiful event of Adharapan. So Jagannath is already coming back from his Gundicha temple, and then he's on his way back. And of course, there are so many beautiful rituals and pastimes. How the servitors of Lakshmi Devi, they get upset with the servitors of Jagannath, and they go and fight, because the Lakshmi Devi is very angry with Jagannath that you said you will come back in 1 day. It's already 7 days, 4 days actually. She goes on the 4th day, and this is the 4th day and you haven't come back, and where are you? So she goes in search, and then the servitors of Lakshmi Devi, they break the wheel of Jagannath's cart. And now Jagannath is back, just 3 days back. He's on his way back. So now he dresses up like a king because the Vrindavan pastime is over with Radharani. He's coming back to his Sundarachal, like Neelachal. He's coming back to Neelachal. So from Vrindavan, he's now back to his place. And here he has to dress like a king. So they have something called Sonavesh. Oh, they deck him up in gold from top to bottom. He's looking like a king, and very majestically he's coming back on his Ratha. And then they offer him a drink. and they were showing it live, and it was, because we can't go to Puri in this situation, and it was so amazing. They had this 3 big clay pots, and huge clay pots, and they had this adhara pan. Adhara is lips, and pana is the sweet drink that they offer to Jagannath lips. So it's made up of camphor and banana and milk and cheese and nuts, and very nice one. And then they offer 3 pots to Jagannath, 3 pots to Baladev, and 3 pots to Subhadra. And but after Jagannath drinks it, they don't give it to anybody. They break it, because they say that is for the ghosts and the goblins and the devatas and the other jivas, who are coming from different planets, just to satiate them. So that ceremony is so beautiful when you see how the pujaris, they just break the pot and then they're shouting, because like they say, nobody should touch it and nobody should drink it. It's for those people, they should be satiated. And then starts another big process of how Lakshmi Devi is actually looking from the, from her balcony that, Jagannath has come, but she doesn't allow him inside. So now that fighting is so beautiful. Jagannath servitors are fighting with Lakshmi Devi's servitor. What do you think you are? It's our temple and we're going to come inside. And Lakshmi Devi's servitors are like, will not allow you inside, you're already late. So after a lot of requesting, and she allows Balabhadra to come inside, she allows Subhadra to come inside, but Jagannath cannot come. And the fighting goes on, and they'll just, curse words also. Actually, they will say to each other, the servitors. And finally, Lakshmi Devi agrees, okay, fine, come inside, I forgive you. And then Jagannath comes inside. So all that very, very special things just, culminating and closing here in India. I don't know about the West. So we are all still in that Jagannath fever and Jagannath mood. And I think with today's class, we will close it up and then get into the Janmashtami mood. So we will speak today on Jagannath Ashtakam, which is very, very special for the devotees, because especially the Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya, we, the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for us it's very special because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to sing it. So though it's composed by Adi Shankaracharya, it has 8 verses, but during his stay in Puri for 18 years, Mahaprabhu used to sing this in front of Jagannath. So today we will try to analyze and, how Mahaprabhu is, thinking and interpreting, and what mood he is singing, and and what way it's applicable in our life, and what are the teachings that we can take from this Jagannath Ashtakam. So once we know the meaning, then next time when we recite, we can do it with more of emotion and not make it very yantrik, or just make it formal. So the format is like this. I'll be singing one paragraph and then I explain the meaning, and then we go to the next paragraph. So we'll begin it. Kadachit kalindi tata vipina sangita karavo. Kadachit kalindi tata vipina sangita karavo. Mudabhira nari vadana Kamala svada madhupa. Mudabhiri nari vadana Kamala svada madhupa. Rama Shambhu Brahma Amar Pati Ganesha Chitapado. Rama Shambhu Brahma Amar Pati Ganesha Chitapado. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me. So here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is in the mood of the gopis, is probably telling to Jagannath, hey, kadachit kalindi. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking, probably just before coming here, you were somewhere else, were you not? So where were you? Somewhere else, where were you? Kalindi Tata. You were at the bank of Yamuna. So Kalindi is Yamuna. So we all know that Yamuna Devi is called Kalindi. Why is she called Kalindi? Yeah, because she came from the Kalindi mountain, Mountain Kalindi. So she has a name. So because she's appeared from the Kalindi mountain, she's called as a daughter of Kalinda. So she's Kalindi. But the Vaishnava Acharya says, no. Actually, she's called Kalindi because the black Krishna took bath in her and made her black. So she became Kali. And then some Vaishnava Acharya says, no. Actually, she's called Kalindi because the one who takes bath in her waters have no effect of Kali over them. So she's Kalindi. So here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking, probably, Kadachit, before, you were somewhere else, weren't you? Where were you in Kalindi Tata? Vipina Sangeeta Karao. You were near a forest which is next to Yamuna. So which is the forest which is next to Yamuna? Vrindavan. So you were in Vrindavan, were you not? Acha, what were you doing in Vrindavan? Oh, you were Sangeeta Karao. You were playing flute in Vrindavan. Acha, why were you playing this flute in Vrindavan? Why were you playing flute? To attract the ladies. So the next line is this, Mudabhira Nari Vadana. Oh, you used to play so beautiful flute that the ladies used to come running to see you. So right, so he's talking here about the gopis, how they used to just come run in the middle of the night when Krishna is playing the flute. And then Mudabhir basically means is Ananda. And after hearing the flute of Krishna, they become so happy. Mudabhira Nari Vadana. And how their faces and body become? They become like lotus flower. Kamalaswada. They're looking like a lotus. Just like when the sun rays fall on the lotus blooms. Similarly, when you play the flute, they run towards you, and when you look at them, your eyes, your glance fall on those ladies, and they become so happy and they're blooming like a lotus. And then what do you do after that? You take advantage of them. How? It says that Kamal Aswada Madhupa, just like a bee, the honey bees, they just go to the flowers and they take the nectar, and this is what you do. When you see those beautiful faces of the gopis, and then you drink the nectar of their beautiful faces. This is something so beautiful. But here, if you see, it says, before you were in Vrindavan, near the Yamuna bank, you were playing flute. Hearing your flute, the gopis came, and then the gopis became very happy. Their faces were blown like, blooming like a lotus flower, and you were drinking the nectar. Now, if somebody hears this, they may think, oh, are we talking about some flirt? Some boy who's flirting with the girls in the middle of the night. So Shankaracharya is clarifying in his verse. He said, no, I'm talking about, a person who's been worshipped by Rama, Shambhu, Brahma, Amarapati, Ganesha, Archita Pado, who are worshipping his lotus feet. I'm talking about that Krishna. So this is very beautiful, all the high profile names. So here is Rama. Rama means Lakshmi Devi. So we all know Lakshmi Devi massages the feet of Lord. Then comes Shambhu. Yeah, we all know Lord Shiva, just like Bhishma, he composed the Vishnu Sahasranama. Shiva composed the Gopala Sahasranama. So Lord Shiva is always glorifying Lord Shri Krishna. So he says, Rama, Lakshmi Devi is serving you. Shambhu, Shiva is glorifying you. Brahma, we know that, right? We are singing every day, Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Brahma is worshipping you. Amarapati, who is Amarapati? Indra. Indra is worshipping you. In fact, there is a beautiful pastime in Jagannath Puri. How once, we all know Jagannath Puri's prasadam is very tasty. So the devatas also, they look forward for that prasadam. So once Amarapati, Indra, he came actually, dressed as a normal citizen, and he went inside the Ananda Bazaar, and he, asked the devotees to pack a lot of prasadam, the Jagannath Pandas. Pack that rice, pack that dal, that sabji, and after all the packing is over, the Panda is saying, okay, so 1,000 rupees. So he said, 1,000 rupees, what is this rupees? I said, okay, come on, don't act smart. Money you have to give. And he said, really, I don't have any money. I said, come on, then give back the prasadam if you don't have money. And then Indra thought, why should I give it up? So he started running with that prasadam. So he's running and the Panda is running behind him. Hey, sir, you look like a gentleman. Why are you acting like a thief? Give the money. And he's running and running and running, and finally he reached almost next to the shore of the ocean. And there, when he saw nobody's looking at him, then he turned back, he paused, and he said, what do you want? Why are you running behind? So I simply want my money. Then he said, look, I'm Indra, I don't have money, I just came to take prasadam. I said, oh, okay, you are Indra, then I am also Indra. Oh, no, I'm seriously Indra, Baba. And then Airavat actually came, and then he got up, Indra got up, and then this devotee was so happy that, oh, I actually saw Indra Indra. And then he became so happy that I had the darshan. Of course, those days there was no cell phone. Otherwise, you would have taken a selfie. This is what happened. So even that place today also, the locals, they call it as Swargadwar, because from there Indra went to Swarga, right? So they think, okay, if anybody leaves their body, they can also go to Swarga from there. So Lakshmi Devi is worshipping you, Shambhu Shiva is worshipping you, Brahma is worshipping you, Amarpati is worshipping you, Ganesha is worshipping you. So we all know this pastime of Kanchi Ganesh, right? How the Purushottam Dev and Purushottam Dev wanted to marry Padmavati, who is the daughter of the king of Kanchi. But king of Kanchi, he said that, I don't think you are a king because you are sweeping in front of Jagannath. So they decide to have a war. And the condition of the war was that whoever wins. So this Kanchi king had Ganesh as his Ishtadev. And Purushottam Dev was the worshipper of Jagannath. So he said, okay, if you win, then my Jagannath goes behind your Ganesh. And if I win, then your Ganesh goes behind my Jagannath. So then, finally, of course, because of the Lord's intervention, Purushottam Dev wins the war. And then the Kanchi Ganesh goes behind Jagannath. And even today we see that, right? When we go to the Puri temple, this Kanchi Ganesh, he has... and of course, we know Ganesh is a pujari in the Narsimha Dev temple in the Lokas above. So even Ganesh is worshipping you. So that Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatume. Oh my Lord, that Jagannath, please be the object of my vision. Or rather, a devotee's bhava is, oh my Lord, wherever my eyes go, may you be there. Or you be in the path of my vision. That's such a beautiful thought. This is what a devotee wants. So here you see Jagannatha Swami. The word Swami means somebody who is giving you protection. So what kind of a protection does a devotee wants? A devotee wants only one protection. He doesn't want to come back to this material world, of birth, death, old age and disease. So how can you get protection from coming back from the cycle of birth, death, old age and disease? The only thing is, if you keep the Lord in your vision, then you won't come back to this world. So that is why the devotee is asking, be the object of my vision. If there is no vismriti, if I don't forget the Lord, then what is the problem? Today all the problem in this world is happening because of our forgetfulness of the Lord. If somebody is always remembering the Lord, then where is the problem? So such a beautiful thing is saying. And of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is singing this in the bhav of the gopis. And for the gopis, even 1 second of not seeing the Lord is like, we are singing now in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has composed the Sikshashtakam. So where we sing Yugaitam Nimishena Chakshusha Pravishaitam Shunyaitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahena Me. So even 1 minute is like a big one yuga for the gopis, For those who are the devotees of the Lord, for them even 1 second without the Lord is like a big yuga. And for them everything is Shunyaitam Jagat Sarvam. Even if there is everything in the world, if the Lord is missing, then it is Shunyaitam for them. So with that mood, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is singing the same verse here, that without Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami. In fact, you see in the Gopi Geet also, there's one verse where Gopi is saying Jada Udikshatam. The gopis are cursing Brahma. What a stupid creator. How could he make such faulty eyes which keep on blinking every second? So many seconds when Krishna is in front of us, our eyes are blinking and we are unable to see him for that fraction of a second. How can you make such faulty eyes? So what the devotees, they all the time want to see the Lord. They want to see the Lord and they want the Lord in their remembrance, because they know the biggest problem in this world will be if we forget the Lord. In the Gopi Geet, the gopis sing this one line, Virachita bhayam vrishni dhuryate charanami usham Samsrite bhayat. The gopis are worried about Samsrite bhayat. What the devotees are worried is, they are not worried about today the rain will be there or not, when will the corona stop, Adi Devik, Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik. Actually what they are worried is, if I forget the Lord, then I'll have to stay back in this material world. That is what the devotees are worried about. They are worried about the distraction, something that will take them away from Krishna is what is their main worry. So if we can pray like this, oh my Lord, stay in my vision, then there is nothing to worry. If the Lord is there always in our vision, then where is the problem, right? And that is what the devotees ask for. You see in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, where, chapter 9, where Bhishma Deva Stuti comes. So what does Bhishma Deva ask from the Lord? He's such a pure devotee of the Lord, but he asked only one thing from the Lord. What did he say? Sadeva Devo Bhagavan Pratikshataam Kalevaram Yavadidam Hinomi Aham Prasannaha Sarunalochano Lasat Mukham Bhujo Dhyanapatha Chaturbhujam. That's what Bhishma asked. I don't want anything. Sadeva Devo Bhagavan Pratikshata. My Lord, please wait for me. When I leave this body, Kalevaram, when I leave this body, what I want? Prasanna Hasa. I just want to see your beautiful smile, your beautiful face. Chaturbhujam. That's the way Bhishma wanted to see the Lord. Patha, in my vision, please be there as the object of my vision. This is all I want from you, my Lord. That is what the devotees ask, right? So this is so beautiful. Jagannatha Swami, Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me. Please be the object of my vision. Go to the next sloka. Bhuje savyavenum sira sisikhi picham Katitate dukulam nitrante saha chara kataksham vidadhate sada Srimadvrindavana vasati lila parichayo Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me. So here it says, Bhuje Savya Venum. The Lord is holding the Venu in his left hand. And Sirasi Sisikhi Picham Katitate. The Lord is having a beautiful peacock feather on his head. And Katitate is waist, Dukulam. What is he having in his waist? A yellow pitambari cloth is tied. Sometimes people mistake it. It is not actually yellow. It is golden color. It's more of golden. And why does the Lord tie that golden cloth? Because he's reminded of Radharani. Because Radharani's color is golden. So he always wants to remember Radharani. So no matter, that's why you see in our temples also, no matter what color we dress Krishna, but we make sure in the waist there is a yellow cloth tied, because he wants to remember Radha all the time. So he says, Bhuje Savya Venum, holding a flute, having a peacock feather, having a golden cloth in his waist, and Netrante Sahachara Kataksham Vidadhate. And what is there in his eyes? He is having in his eyes the devotees. I don't know if you have seen, sometime back, of course now it's become old fashioned, sometime back when people used to take photos, they'll wear a goggles. Then in the goggles there'll be the photo of the loved ones, and then they'll take a photo. It was some kind of a fashion. But actually that happens with the Lord. If in the Lord's eyes there are devotees. He's always thinking about devotees. The devotees are there in the Lord's eyes. And if you see in the eyes of the devotee, you can see the Lord. In their eyes, you can always see the Lord. That is how the reciprocation is. So that is why, many times I tell in my classes that whenever we go, in a crowded temple place, don't push the other devotees to see the Lord. You can see the Lord in the eyes of the devotees. The devotees are seeing the Lord, and you see the eyes of the devotees, and you can see the Lord. That's the beauty. The Lord is always thinking about his devotees, and devotees are always thinking about the Lord. In fact, you see in Bhagavatam, in the 10th canto, this pastime comes where Krishna, when he goes for herding the cows, the cows and the cowherd boys, they're so attached to Krishna. Nobody wants to go in front of Krishna. They all want to be with Krishna so that they can keep looking at Krishna. If they go in the front, they can't see Krishna. So, but everybody can't walk on the same line. So some of them have to walk behind. But those who are walking behind, they are also running to touch Krishna. So they have a transcendental competition where they'll say, who will touch Krishna first? Aham Purvam, I'll touch, and they run to Krishna and they just touch him. So that's how Krishna's devotees are always thinking about him, and he's thinking about them. So of course, wherever Krishna's beauty and his features and his form is explained, there's always a mention about peacock feather and about a flute and about his devotees. That's one very important. You see this, there is this verse in the Venu Geet where the Lord, gopis are explaining the beauty of the Lord. There also they mention it. What is that verse? Baraha pidam natavaravapu karnaye karani karam bibrihat kanaka kapisam vaijayanti chamalam randhran venu radhara sudhayo punaye gopavrinde vrindaranyam swapadaramanam pravishad geet kirtihi. Vaijayanti mala, wearing a crown of peacock feather, holding a flute, and with the Gopa Vrinda, all his sakhas, he is walking inside Vrindavan, where everywhere his footprints are there, and then he has his karnikara flowers on his ears. So that is, pitambari clothes, dukulam, such beautiful, such a beautiful form of the Lord. So here they are just saying that, that Lord who were in Vrindavan before, who used to play flute, this is how his form is, this is how he looks. And then comes this next line, a very important line, says, Sada Srimad Vrindavana Vasati Leela Parichay. What's the introduction of the Lord? He always stays in Vrindavan. Sada, always is in Vrindavan. So in fact, we know that verse where, it says, Vrindavanam Paritajam Padam Ekam Nagachami. Krishna has promised, I won't take even one step out of Vrindavan. And of course, we all have this sandeha, doubt. But is it true? Then why were the gopis crying? Why did Krishna leave and go to Mathura? But our dear Jiva Goswami, he clarifies. He said, no, Krishna never left Vrindavan. There were two Krishnas. One Krishna was born to Vasudev in the Mathura prison house, and one Krishna was born to Jashoda. So Jashoda gave birth to twins. There was one boy and one girl, Krishna and the Yogamaya. And when Vasudev comes from Mathura with the basket, with Krishna, he places Vasudev Krishna next to Yashoda Krishna, and he takes the daughter of Yashoda and goes back to the present. And now when these two Krishnas are lying next to each other, the Vasudev Krishna gets so attracted to Yashoda Krishna that he wants to go more close, and finally goes inside. And that's how the two Krishna become one Krishna. And then what he said, the proof is, when the demons come, Krishna start killing them, Bakasur, Aghasur, Trinavarta. And then when he is next to Yashoda Mata, and even if the cat is, meow or moos, and he's like, I'm afraid. So is he acting? No, he's not acting. Jiva Goswami says he's really afraid. So who is afraid? He says who is afraid is Yashoda Krishna. And who fights with the demon is Vasudev Krishna. And who went away with Akrura was Vasudev Krishna. And who stayed back was Yashoda Krishna. So then why the gopis were crying if Krishna didn't go? So they were able to see Krishna. But they also saw that Krishna got up on the chariot and left with Akrura. So that was in their mind that Krishna left. So after that, Krishna was telling them, I'm here. And they said, oh my God, what a pure love. I'm able to see Krishna everywhere. Krishna I'm seeing here, and Krishna, but he's actually there. So Krishna doesn't leave. So that is his parichay. Sada Srimad Vrindavana Vasati Leela Parichay. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatumi. Oh, that Jagannath, please be the object of my vision. Don't go away. Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying this? Because he's in the mood of Radharani, and last time you ran away from Vrindavan, you left us. This time don't go. Please be the object of my vision. Just be there. Don't go. That's what. You see, there are many beautiful bhajans of Chandidas and Vidyapati which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to hear, when he was residing in Puri. And Swarup Damodar used to sing it for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there's one bhajan I like, which is very beautiful, one of my favorite bhajans, where it's very intimate. That's why we don't usually discuss in public classes, but these are classes with the devotees, where Radharani is telling to Lalita and Vishaka, so, I'm unable to bear the separation from Krishna. Can you give me some poison? I can't live anymore. I just want to die. Can you give me some poison? So Lalita and Vishaka says, we can arrange for the poison Radha, but you won't die even if you take the poison. So she says, why won't I die? No, because you have an overdose of Amrita, nectar in your body. That's why poison will not work. When did I have an overdose of Amrit? They said, didn't you hear Krishna's flute with your ears? So Amrita went inside your ears. Or didn't you see Krishna with your eyes? So Amrit went inside your eyes. Or didn't you smell the flowers offered to Krishna with your nose? Or didn't you recite the name of Krishna with your mouth? That means nectar went through your mouth and nose and ears and eyes. And didn't you serve Krishna with your body? So overdose of nectar, so poison won't work. Then Radharani says, okay, let us give it a try. And in case if it works, please don't burn my body. So they say, why? Why will you burn my body? My body is already burning in the fire of separation of Krishna. What is the point of burning a burnt body? Anyway, don't even drown me in Yamuna. Don't give me Jala Samadhi. They say, why? Well, what will you drown a body that is already drowned? Every day that I am crying gallons and gallons of tears for Krishna and I am already drowning in that. So what will you drown a drowned body? So they said, Radha, what should we do with your body? No, do one thing. With my body, you hang it on the Tamal tree. He said, why should we hang it on the Tamal tree, Radha? He says, you don't know, Tamal tree has the same color and complexion like Krishna has. So Radharani says, Krishna kalo, Tamal kalo, taito Tamal bhalo bhasi. Oh, Krishna is black and Tamal is black. That's why I like Tamal very much. Hang my body in the Tamal tree. So then they say, but Radha, why do you want us to hang the body on the Tamal tree? No, in case if Krishna comes back from Mathura and if we ask, where is my Radha? Then you should, hey, here is your Radha. But then they said, well, the Lalita and Vishaka Singh, but we don't think the body will remain for so long because just see, there are so many crows in the branch of the tree and these crows may eat away your body. Then Radharani says, hey Vishaka, do me a favor, speak to those crows, tell them they can eat any part of my body, in fact the whole of my body, ask them not to eat my eyes. Those 2 eyes, let them remain. I said, why so? No, in case if Krishna comes, then I can see him with those 2 eyes. That's why just make sure those 2 eyes should not be eaten by the crows. So that is the mood of Radharani and the gopis. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatumi. My Lord, please be the object of my vision. We'll go to the next verse. Maham bodhe tire kana karuchirani la shikhare. Maham bodhe tire kana karuchirani la shikhare. Vasan prasadanta sahaja bala bhadrana balina. Vasan prasadanta sahaja bala bhadrana balina. Subhadra madhyastha sura seva vasarado. Subhadra madhyastha sakala sura seva vasarado. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatumi. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatumi. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come back to Puri from Vrindavan. So now he says, well, that was your past. You were in Vrindavan. Now you are here. Where are you? Near the great ocean. Maha Ambude. Oh, you are near this great ocean. Tire. On the shore of this great ocean. Kanaka Ruchire Neela Shikhare. Oh, you are on the top of this blue mountain. Kanaka Ruchire, which looks like golden mountain actually, because you are sitting on the golden Bedi, Ratta Bedi. And then Vasan Prasadanta, you're not sitting there alone, you're sitting with somebody. Who is that? Your brother and sister. Sahaja Balabhadre Na Balina. So why is Shankaracharya mentioning this, that you're not sitting here alone, you're sitting with your brother Baladev and you're sitting with your sister? He's just trying to drive the fact home that you are sitting here with your brother and sister because of your promise that you made to your dear devotee Narada. Why is he sitting like this why is not sitting with Radha? Why is not sitting with Lakshmi Devi? Why is he sitting with Baladev and Subhadra? Because of your promise. You made a promise to Narad Muni, remember? what the promise he made when Rohini Mata was narrating all the pastimes of Vrindavan, and Subhadra was guarding the door. And when she was guarding the door, she had her two hands like this, and she was thinking, I make sure nobody goes inside. And then when she was hearing and hearing and hearing, she got so immersed. And then Baladev comes, and then Jagannath comes, and they crush her. That's why you never see the hands of Subhadra, because they were like this, not allowing anybody to go inside. And then Jagannath and Baladev, Krishna and Balaram, they showed this beautiful form of Mahabhava Prakasha, in separation of Radharani and the gopis, the emotions, the feelings which are coming out on his face and eyes and limbs. So, and Narad Muni had asked a promise, my Lord, you will show this to all the devotees. So just to keep the promise of your devotee, you are sitting here like this. Now somebody may ask, just now we discussed that Lord doesn't leave Vrindavan and come. So why is he sitting here like Jagannath? Why did he leave Vrindavan and come? So no, he has left Vrindavan, but he is carrying Vrindavan in his heart. Why did he become Jagannath? Tell me. He was Krishna, right? He was Dwarkadish Krishna. How did Dwarkadish Krishna become Jagannath? Because he was hearing the Leelas of Vrindavan. So that means he's carrying Vrindavan in his heart. So that means he's not out of Vrindavan. Is it not? What is said in the scriptures? When you can't be physically in some place, if you're thinking about that place, means you are in that place. That's why they say, na, carry Vrindavan in your heart. What do the devotees say? If you can't go to what we hear, in the Kartik month, one is supposed to spend in the holy dham, but we are not able to go. Then what do? We just carry the dham. That means we worship Krishna, we chant Krishna's name, then that is dham. We just carry the place. So Jagannath is thinking about Vrindavan, thinking about the gopis, thinking about the Radharani. So he is carrying Vrindavan. So he has not gone out of Vrindavan. So here he says that, oh, you are sitting with your brother and sister, and then says, sit far off and maintain little distance. Okay. So here it says Subhadra Madhyastha. Where is Subhadra sitting? She's sitting in between Jagannath and Baladev. Okay, why did you come here? You were happy in Vrindavan, right? With Radha and Gopis and Radharani and Gopis. So why did you come here? So here is clarifying Sura Seva Avasara Do. You came here because you wanted to give opportunity to the Suras, that means to the Sattvic people, to the Devatas to worship you. Because in Vrindavan you are too busy with the Vrajavasis. You have no time for others. Nobody can serve you. You're always surrounded by your gopis and Radharani. So that is why here you came to Jagannath Puri. Okay, I'll give opportunity to everybody to serve me. And then everybody is able to serve him in the form of Jagannath. Even the Devatas are serving him. The Jagannath temple, it remains closed only for 3 hours in 24 hours. And even in that 3 hours when the temple is closed, the Devatas come to see the Lord. So I was many times tell you this pastime of how one time a pujari, after finishing his night worship, when he was walking, he sees that there's a big shadow, somebody is following him. And when he looks back, he sees somebody is so tall, 16 feet, 18 feet height. I said, who are you? He says, I'm Vibhishan. Prabhu, you have to mute them. He says, I am Vibhishan and I come every day to meet the Lord. And he was so happy. And he said, I'm so excited I'm seeing Vibhishan. Can you just give me some gift or something, some souvenir that I can tell everybody that I met you. So he said, okay. And he just gave his, whatever he was wearing in his arm, like a bracelet kind of thing. And he just took it out and gave it. And then that pujari, his name was Patta Joshi Mahapatra. He took it. And that was so big like a wheel of a bullock cart. And even today you go to Puri, you can see that. The Vibhishan's armlets, bracelet or armlet, whatever he was wearing. So like that, to give avasara, opportunity to the Devatas, you have come here, my Lord, in Jagannath Puri. See, Puri is a very, very special dham. Because it said that Lord takes bath in Badrinath and then he gets ready in Dwarka and then he sleeps in Sri Rangam, but eating and talking he does in Jagannath Puri. Batakhani he does in Jagannath Puri. Means he's eating and talking. Yeah, you tell me what you want to say. So he's all ready to hear. Yeah, you talk, I'm hearing, I'm eating and hearing and talking to whatever devotees want to do. So it is so special because you see, Vrindavan means Madhurya Bhav, Dwarka means Aishwarya Bhav, but Jagannath Puri, Navadvip means Audarya Bhav, but Jagannath Puri means fusion fusion, because body is Aishwarya bound. He's like a Dwarkadish having chappan bhog continuously. Heart is Vrindavan, Madhuri Bhav, thinking about gopis. That's why the body became like that. What he's doing is Audarya Bhav, delivering people. All kinds of people can, Chandalas or Brahmanas or non-Brahmanas, everybody can, worship him and get his mercy. Patita Pavana Jagannath. That's how it is, right? When he comes out on the Ratha, at that time there are no restrictions. Anybody can get up and hug him and touch him. So he is doing all the three. It's a fusion in Jagannath Puri. So it's a very, very special dham. Okay, let me just make it in silent. Okay, so Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami. So Puri is a very, very special dham. In fact, see, Jagannath Puri, and then we call Dwarka Puri, and we call Ayodhya Puri, and we call Kanchi Puri. Now the thing, this Puri word is very significant. Puri means a place where the Param Purushottam Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, resides, eats, meets a devotee. That place is called Puri. That's why every dhamna we end it with Puri, the place where Param Purushottam Bhagavan resides. In fact, devotees also are called Madhavendra Puri, because in his heart, Param Purushottam Krishna resides in his heart. So he is also Puri, Madhavendra Puri. The Lord resides in his heart, and takes service from him. So like that. So now we'll go to the next verse. Kripa paravara sajal jalada shreni ruchiro Ramavani Rama Spurada Amala Pankheru Mukha Surendre Raradhya Shruti Ganashikhagi Tacharito Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatumi. Beautiful verse. It says, Kripa Paravar. Lord, you are the ocean of mercy. Kripa Paravar. Sajala Jalada Shreni Ruchiro. How do you look? Your color of your body is like the color of the cloud which is full of water just before it rains. That blackish rain cloud is your color. Oh, one cloud? No. Shruchi, Jalada Shreni Ruchiro. Oh, many clouds together, row of clouds together. How they look, that's the complexion you have, my Lord. And then he says, Rama Vani Rama Spurada. Oh, Rama Vani, the Saraswati Devi and Lakshmi Devi, they're all serving you, and on your order they are helping the jivas, is it not? When we with the wealth we can serve the Lord. With Saraswati Devi helps us with knowledge, then we can understand the Lord. So because of your instructions, they are serving you by the way of serving your your devotees or living entities, by helping them to serve you in return. And then he says, Amala Pankheru Mukha. And then he continues explaining how beautiful the Lord's face is. Amala. Mala means dirty. Amala means which is not dirty. Spotless, clean, beautiful face. Amala Pankheru Mukha. Your face is like a fully bloomed lotus, a flower. And then he says, Surendrer Aradhya. So who worships you? Surendrer, Indra, and all the best of the demigods. And Shruti. Shruti means scriptures. Shruti, Smriti, Shastra. They are all glorifying you. Gana, Shikha, Gita, Charito. Oh, they are glorifying you. All the sages are glorifying you, my Lord. That Jagannath Swami, please be the object of my vision. So here he says, you are ocean of mercy. You are beautiful colored. Lakshmi Devi and Saraswati Devi are worshipping you. Your face is like a fully bloomed lotus flower. It's spotless, it's beautiful. All the demigods, all the scriptures, all the sages, everybody is glorifying you. That Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision. Go to the next verse. Ratharudho gachan pati milita bhudeva patale Stuti pradubhavam prati padam upakarnya sadaya daya sindhu bandhu sakal jagatam sindhu sutaya Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me. So here he says, oh, now he is explaining about the Ratha Yatra. Ratha Rudo Gacham. Oh, you are very majestically, my Lord, you sit on your Ratham, in a royal Ratham, and your Ratham is moving ahead. And then what do you do when you are in your Ratham? You're just meeting people. Oh, hello, how are you? How are you? Everything's fine. He's a Raja, right? So he's just walking, moving around in his Ratham. It's driven on the roads, and he's just meeting people. And whom he is meeting? Bhudeva Patale. Bhudeva here, the translation is given as Brahmanas. But by Brahmanas, we don't mean literally people who have taken birth in Brahmanas family. Brahmana means one who has good qualities. Brahmana means one who has sattvic qualities. In the morning class today, we were discussing about the qualities of Brahmana. Shanti, Rarjava, Evacha, Daya, Achyuta Atmavat. He's a Sama, Dhamma, Tapa, Saucha. All these are the qualities of a Brahmana. And devotee has all these qualities, right? The Brahmana has 11 or 12 qualities, devotees has 26 qualities. That means all the qualities of a Brahmana are there in a devotee. That means devotee is a Brahman. Is it not? Brahman means one who is thinking only about Brahma, whose life is centered around serving Krishna is a Brahman. So he says, Lord is meeting the Bhudeva. Okay, yeah, he's just talking to his devotees. See, this word Deva is somebody who is worshipable. So who is worshipable in this Bhu? One who is a devotee is worshipable. Rest, who is worshipable? Not somebody who is having a big position. Somebody who is having Krishna in heart is worshipable. So Deva means, that's why we say Guru Deva, Matru Deva. Somebody who is worshipable is a Deva. Right? So he says he's talking to his devotees. And then what are the devotees doing? Stuti Pradurbhavam. The devotees are glorifying, continuously doing stuti. Pahimam, 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 Govindam, Adipurusham, Tamaham, Bhajami, Lord, we worship. They are praying continuously. And then he says Pratipadam. Oh, every moment, every step the Ratham is going, the devotees are continuously praying, doing stutis. Upakarnya. And the Lord is hearing, Jagannath is hearing. Sadaya, always. Jagannath is not saying, today it is little late. Next year Rath Yatra, is it okay? Today the time is over, I need to go back. No, he keeps on hearing. What's the proof? I'll tell you. What's the proof? That he never says, today the class time is over. No, I'll hear. How? I'll tell you. There was one devotee called Sala Bega. You must have heard about him. His father's name was Lal Beg, and he was a Muslim. And he married Lalita, who was a widow of a Brahman. So now Sala Bega had a father as Muslim and mother is a Vaishnavi. So because mother is a Vaishnavi, he got that tradition of worshipping Jagannath. In fact, I'm trying to cut a long story short, how he got into, relationship with Jagannath. Initially he was not. Then he got some disease, and then how he became attached to Jagannath. Now he became so attached to Jagannath, he was composing beautiful bhajans for Jagannath in the Oriya language. Now once it so happened, because his father is a Muslim, he can't go inside the temple. He doesn't have the opportunity to see Jagannath inside the temple. He cannot enter. So a whole year he will wait for that day, Ratha Yatra, when Lord will come out so that I can see my Lord. Now 1 year it so happened that he was in Vrindavan. So when he was coming back from Vrindavan, he remembered, Hare, today is Ratha Yatra. So by the time I reach from Vrindavan to Puri, Ratha Yatra will be over and Lord will go inside the temple. Then I cannot see the Lord. I have to wait for 1 more year. Then he started crying, my Lord, please don't go inside. Please don't go inside. Please wait for me, I'm coming. And because he's praying like this, what happened in Jagannath Puri? Lord stopped the cart. And now everybody's not able to figure out why is the cart not moving. They're trying. Everybody's trying, but the cart is not moving. The Lord is waiting for him. And meanwhile, Sala Bega comes. And he comes and then he sees, the procession is still going on, and becomes very happy. And then he has the darshan of the Lord. So like that, sometimes the Lord stops. That is why you see in Puri, Ratham, it doesn't go so smoothly. Sometimes suddenly it'll stop. And they'll say technical problem. There is no technical problem. There is some emotional problem. Somebody is stopping the Lord. Some stuti is going on and Lord has to stop because he's emotionally so attached with his devotees. That is why you see when, the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his house is there, right, in Puri. And when he was a 6-month-old baby, because as a small baby, the mother has delivered a baby, she cannot go out, so she never went out to see the Lord. And the Lord wants to see his devotee. So the Lord's Ratham stopped right in front of his house, and it was not moving for days. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's mother thought, anyway the Ratham is not moving, let me take my little baby and see the Lord. So she took the baby and she gave the baby in the hand of the Pandas. Can you just get Jagannath's blessing? So they took the baby and put in Jagannath's feet, and immediately Jagannath's garland fall from his neck in Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's neck. And that's how he got the blessing. And when the baby was brought in, sent back to the house, and the Ratham started. So that's how the Lord is. He'll stop to hear, his devotees. Because you know what? Sometimes the Ratha cart, the Ratha wheels, they're making so much noise, gar, gar, gar. Then he cannot hear the stuti. That's why he'll say, driver, stop the car, and I want to hear my devotees. And he hears the stuti, and then he moves a little bit more forward. So that is Jagannath, And in the third line he says, Daya Sindhu, oh Lord, you are the ocean of mercy. Bandhu, you're our friend. Sakala Jagatam, not only you're everybody's friend, my Lord. Sindhu Sutaya. So here is a little difference. Here he's saying that till now he was saying, oh Jagannath, I want to see you. Now he says one more thing. I want to see you with Lakshmi Devi. Here he says Sindhu Sutaya. That means the daughter of the ocean god. That is Lakshmi Devi. So, oh my Lord, I want to see you with Lakshmi Devi this time. So like that, Shankaracharya is just, a little bit here and there he's making some changes. So that Jagannath, please be the object of my vision. Okay, we'll go to the next verse. Parabrahma pida kuva laya dalota fula nayano nivasi niladro nihita charano nanta sirasi rasanandi radha saras vapura linga na sukho Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me. So here he says Parabrahma Pida. Pida is crown. So Parabrahma Pida. Oh, you are the supreme personality of the of the Godhead. And Kuvalaya Dalota Fula Nayano. Oh, we see the Jagannath's eyes, right? How big and beautiful they are. So say, oh, your eyes are like lotus. See, many places same thing, lotus, 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 because that's the truth. That's why you see even Kunti Devi, what she says, Namo Pankajanabhaya, Namo Pankajamaline, Namo Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajangri. That's how the Lord is. Eyes are like lotus, faces like lotus, lips are like lotus, feet is like lotus, navel is like lotus, wears a lotus garland, everything, the Lord. So they're mentioning, it's like a fully opened lotus, big eyes you have. Okay, Nivasi Niladro. Where do you stay? Nilachal. Nivasi. You stay there. Okay. Nihita Charano Nanta Sirasi. Okay, where are your lotus feet? Oh, they are on the top of Ananta. Ananta says. Your feet are on the top of Ananta says. Okay. What do you do? Rasanando Radha Sarasa Vapur. Oh, you are Rasa Ananda. Oh, you are taking the nectar. Rasa, enjoying bliss. How are you enjoying bliss? Radha. Oh, what you are doing to Radha? Sarasa Vapur Alingana. Because you are embracing Radha Rani, the Shri Anga of Radha Rani, that's why you are becoming very happy. And how is Radha Rani Shri Anga? It's like a cool pond, like on the summer day, if on some summer day, hot summer day, you just take some water from a cool pond. How refreshing it is. So Radha Rani is Vapu. The body is like that cool pond. And Sukho, oh, that Alingana Sukho, you are so happy, you are enjoying. Actually, there is one very beautiful verse in Jayadeva Goswami's Gita Govind. See, there are two very special verses in Jayadeva Goswami's Gita Govind. One verse was written by Lord and one verse was sung by Lord. The written verse we all know. It's a very famous story, right? How Jayadeva Goswami once sees that the Lord is asking Radha Rani that please put your feet on my head, right? Dehi Pada Pallava udaram. This we know. And Jayadev Goswami is reluctant to write. Oh, how can I write like that? Why did I think like that? And he goes for taking bath in Yamuna. And the Lord takes the form of Jayadev Goswami, and then he writes that on the palm leaf and he completes it. So this verse we know, which was written by the Lord. But there's another verse which was sung by the Lord. So there is one verse where Jayadev Goswami says that in the Madhurya Bhava, the Lord is hugging gopis, okay? But when he hugs Radharani, he feels very special. So that verse says that in the middle of the Rasa Leela, where thousands of gopis were, enjoying with Krishna, suddenly Krishna will, embrace Radharani, and he just disappears with Radharani from that place because he's so happy when he, when he embraces Radharani. So now what happens? Jayadev Goswami, he goes to a place called Kenduli. There's a village. And what he was doing is, he was singing the Gita Govind, and the tailor or the weaver was weaving it on cloth. Those days, either palm leaves or cloth, printing, painting, weaving. So the tailor is weaving it, and because there is no written notes. So he just sings it and the tailor weaves it. But when it come to this particular verse, Jayadev Goswami got so emotional, just imagining that scene, how Krishna loves Radharani, started crying and he fainted. Now the weaver is simply sitting, so what to do? So when he gets up, in consciousness, I have to finish my work. So then Krishna is not able to wait. So Krishna takes a form of, in the villages, you have these people who sing Harikatha. They just take veena and they have some symbols. So he just takes a form of that, and he's just singing Gita Govind and coming. And then he comes to this weaver and says, hey, what happened? So he said, no, this, devotee got unconscious, so I'm just waiting. He said, don't wait, I will dictate. Come on, you just, start weaving. So he said, who are you? How can I, certain thing is going on. He said, you don't know me? You don't know me? He said, no, I don't know. Who are you? So he said, who is he? He said, he is Jayadev. So he said, I am Krishna Dev, Jayadev's brother. You don't know me? I am Jayadev's brother, Krishna Dev. So he said, oh, sorry, sir, I didn't know that. Okay, so I will tell you, I know what my brother has written. So he sings it. So he sings it, and the weaver is, weaving it. And then he just disappears from there. So this verse is very special, where, about embracing Radharani, that is there in Gita Govind. So here Rasanandi Radha. So he says, you are Parabrahma, you have beautiful eyes, you reside in Nilachal, your charana or your lotus feet is on Ananta says, and you are embracing Radharani, and you getting so sukha, so happy you are becoming. That Jagannath, please be the object of my vision, We'll go to the next one. Navaya chirajyam nacha Kanaka manikya vibhavam Nayache ham ramyam sakala janakamyam varavadhum Sada kale kale prama tapati nagita charito Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me. So in every prayer, our favorite part has come, asking. We want to ask something from the Lord. But here he's not asking anything. He's saying, I don't want. I don't want. Na ve yache. What you don't want, sir? I don't want rajyam. I don't want kingdom. Okay. Nacha kanaka manikya. Okay, so do you want gold, diamonds? No, I don't want. Kanaka manikyam vibhavam. Even if you give me in large quantities also, I don't want. Okay. Oh, so you want some beautiful wife? No. So I don't want that also. Na yache ham ramyam. Oh, beautiful lady, I don't want. And that is being asked by everybody. Sakala janakamyam. Usually everybody wants that, but that also I don't want. Oh, maybe you don't want beautiful wife, but you want obedient wife, varavadum. No. Nothing. I don't want anything. Okay, then what do you want? What do you want? Something you must be wanting. Just like Nrsingadev, what he asked Prahlad Maharaj. What do you want? Something you ask. Then Prahlad Maharaj says what? I want that I should not want anything from you. This is what I want. My only desire is that I should never desire anything from you, my Lord. Please fulfill that desire. So devotee doesn't want anything, right? So that's why he says, Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakale Ashanta Krishna Bhakta Nishkama. Ateva Shanta, because he doesn't have any desire. That's why the devotee is peaceful. So he says, I don't want. So, okay, fine. See, this is the same mood. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is reciting the Shikshashtakam, right? He composed, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam, vajagadisha kame, mama janmane, janmanishvare, bhavatad bhakti ahetuki, tvai. The same thing here. So I don't want, but I want. One thing I want. What is that? Sada kale kale. Oh, every moment, every second, I want something. What is that? Pramatha Patina Gita Charito. Pramatha Pati means Lord Shiva. Pramatha Pati means one who is the master of the ghost and the goblins. So who is the master of the ghost and the goblins is Lord Shiva. What is he doing every moment? Gita Charito. Oh, he is singing about you. We read the Rudra Gita from Srimad Bhagavatam. So I said, oh, we want to hear what Lord Shiva is reciting. So here he's saying that I don't want Rajyam, I don't want money, wealth, I don't want beautiful women. I just want that Jagannath to be the object of my vision, who is being glorified every moment, Sada Kale Kale, by Lord Shiva. That's all I want. That's my only desire, that you should be in my... this is something so beautiful. Only thing, sometimes we may think that if we are reciting this, are we not acting? Because inside our heart we have having so many desires, but outside we are just reciting that I don't want. But the thing is, even if there may be some desire in our heart, if we keep reciting I don't want, ultimately one day we will come to that stage where we don't want, right? So at least we should start doing it in front of the Lord, and then Lord will bless us someday. Like many times I tell in my classes that, if you watch these Bollywood movies, where the heroine will shout, bachao, bachao, help me. And when she starts shouting, help me, then the hero will suddenly jump from the wall and from the tree, and from somewhere he will appear and he will help. But imagine if the heroine is not even shouting, help me, then how will the hero come? So like at least if we chant, Lord, I don't want, then ultimately someday Lord will say, okay, Baba, I know you want, but I'll help you. But I'll help you to get over it, But if we don't even ask like that, then how, right? So we can do that. Even if it's not our original prayer, but we can recite, because it's recited by great devotees. Okay, we've come to the last verse. Haratvam samsaram druta taramasaram surapate Haratvam papannam vitatim aparam yadavapate aho dinanathae nihita charano nischitam idam Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me. Haratvam, please take away. What should I take away? He's asking the Lord, Haratvam samsara druta taram. Please remove my attraction, my attachment to this material world. Who are you? Surapate. Oh, the Lord of the Devatas. Please do this favor to me. Please remove my material attachment. Please remove my material attraction. And then what he says? Haratvam papannam vitatim aparam Yadavapate. Oh, Yadavapate. Oh, the Lord of the Yadavas. Oh, please remove all my sins. What kind of sins? That is, Kutam, Bijam, Phalam, Mukham. 4 types. So what is our, what do you call, Prarabdha and Aprarabdha? Whatever is in the store, whenever we commit a sinful activity, it's like a seed. We have just sown the seed, and then the seed grows into sapling, and then a tree, and then the fruits come, and that is where we get the results. So he's saying remove it from all stages. That's very important, because sometimes our life will become like that elephant bathing. We may pray now, please remove my sins, so that I can commit some more sins. Then please you remove. So that's our nature, right? So here he's saying, no, please remove the tendency also to commit the sin. Not only the result of the sins which I had previously committed, please remove the tendency so that in the future also I don't commit any sins, my Lord. This is what the devotee is asking. And then in the last line he says, Aho Dinanathe. Aho Dinanatha. Dinanatha means the Lord of the poor. So what poor are we talking about here? The materially impoverished? Are we talking about poor people who have no money? No. Deenanatha here is those who are spiritually poor. Oh, people like us, we are spiritually poor, my Lord. Aho, Deenanatha. Oh, that's your nature. Those who are, impoverished, poor, you help them. Oh, aho, Deenanatha, nihita charana nishchitamidam. Oh, those fallen people who have taken your shelter completely. Is it not? This is very important. So Jagannath, you are the Lord of those people, and you are merciful to those people who have taken you as their life and soul. What does the devotee say? Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhu cha sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva, mama deva deva. That is a devotee's thinking. Mama deva deva. You are everything. You are my vidya, my wealth, my mother, my father, my everything. So those devotees who think like that, for whom you are the only shelter. What is a devotee? What is a devotee? What Krishna says? What is that verse in the 9th chapter? What he says that those who ananyas chintayanto mam je jana paryupasate tesham nityabhayuktanam yogakshemyam vahamyam. So those devotees for whom, except Lord, ananyas chintayanto mam, there is no other thing what Lord does. He protects whatever they have and He carries whatever they lack. So for that kind of devotees, my Lord, you are the only shelter. Right? So the devotees, what is that beautiful bhajan? मारो बिराको भी जो इच्छा तुहारा नित्य दास प्रति तुआधिकार. That's a devotee's mindset. So he said, those kind of devotees, you give them a shelter, my Lord. That Jagannatha Swami, I'm requesting you to be the object of my vision. And then comes the last verse, which says, what happens when somebody recites this Jagannath Ashtakam, when he hears and recites. Jagannatashtakam punyam yapathet prayata suchi sarva papa vishuddhatma vishnu lokam sagachati. So anybody who recites this with full dedication and hears, with full faith, Vishnu lokam sagachati. All our IDC students in the back are getting doubt. Vishnu Lokama. We want to go to Krishna Lokam, Mataji. Oh, every day you are explaining Krishna Lokam, and then how will we go to Vishnu Lokam if we do? No. Here is a different meaning of Vishnu. Vishnu also means one who is all pervading. Here Vishnu means we are talking about Adi Vishnu. Who is Adi Vishnu? Is Krishna. So we don't have to worry. Many times I see devotees in the morning, after that Tulsi Aarti. What is Vrindaye, Tulsi Devaya, Priyaye, Keshavasya. We say Krishna Bhakti. By mistake also we don't want to say Vishnu Bhakti. No, don't worry. You go to Krishna Loka because Vishnu means one who is all pervading. So that we don't have to worry about that. So yeah, Vishnu Lokam Sagachati. If you think Jagannath is Vishnu, you go to Vishnu Lokam. Yeah, like Bhishma, he wanted Chaturbhujam. You think Jagannath is Krishna, then you go to Krishna Lokam. So one who sincerely recites this gets an opportunity to go back home, back to Godhead. So with this, we end the Jagannathashtakam here. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Okay, that's your question. Okay, so your question is, sometimes my chanting happens very well and sometimes my chanting doesn't happen well and I get so many thoughts. Yeah, so that shows that you are healthy, fit and fine. That's what's going to happen with everybody. You will get thoughts and it will go here and there, and that's part of life. So only thing is, sometimes we just need to create the right environment so that it doesn't happen more frequently. So it'll go like this, it'll be like a graph, like if you have done statistics in a graph in maths, sometimes it goes up, but sometimes you will see, it's okay, things are going very well, and sometimes it goes down. But only thing is, you may not be able to stop that. Only thing you can stop the frequency of, those graph, and that will happen only if you if you facilitate your environment should be developed in such a way. See, basically chanting will happen nicely when hearing will happen nicely, and hearing and reading will happen nicely when serving will happen nicely. So when we do Vaishnav Seva and we do hearing nicely and we do reading nicely and we stay in the right association, and then we get infected by others' love of Krishna, and then our love of Krishna also increases. Just like we associate with Corona infected people, we get Corona. We associate with the people infected with Krishna's love, we get the infection. So the whole point is Ekaki Amar Nahi Paye Bal Harinama Sankirtan. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, alone we can't do. So in Kali Yuga, because there are so many distractions, attractions, so many things happening to us, so if we can try and associate with devotees. So of course in this lockdown, physical association is not possible, but if you can just hear. But I have observed, see, it is like like Prabhupada says, if you are affected with jaundice, even the sugarcane juice is, you will feel bitter about it because you are affected. So similarly now, because we are affected with Maya, chanting doesn't give us taste. For us, chanting is practically just say, oh my God, somehow I complete my rounds and rituals. But slowly it will change. So only thing is, if we hear, then we feel inspired to chant. So if your chanting is going down, means you should check. Maybe hearing was not done properly that week, So it's like very simple, If you feel physically weak, there is one advertisement. When in my childhood, I used to, hear this advertise. What is that? Glucon-D. You drink Glucon-D, ye jaan mein jaan dal de. You drink Glucon-D, you'll get full strength, They used to show in the advertisement. And we used to, me and my sister, we used to drink Glucon-D like anything. We used to like that flavor and steal it from the kitchen. So it's so simple. We know that physically we are feeling weak, so just drink a little Glucon-D, you will feel better. Spiritually you feel weak, take Bhagavatam and sit. Whether you like it, don't like it, feel drowsy, or hear from Prabhupada or some devotees, and that's it. Once you do that hearing, reading, Krishna enters through the whole of the ear and goes inside the heart and cleans it up, and then your chanting will become so beautiful. So it's a part of life. Don't worry so much. Yeah, great, amazing. So your situation is just like the gopis, huh? Just like the gopis were not allowed, so you're not allowed to chant and not allowed to greet. So since there are many ways you can still do it without offending them. So whatever it is, don't chant visibly in front of them. Give them some time to cope up. The more you revolt, the more they will become aggressive. So I don't know what's your marital status, but if you are still single and living with your parents and all, make sure you serve them nicely. Love and serve can conquer anybody. Even demons can be conquered by love and affection and by serving nicely. Please do serve your parents, with lot of respect. Anybody, if they are not allowing you, become all the more respectful to them and do as they are asking you to do. Meanwhile, continue your chanting. If they are asking you not to go to the temple, for now, don't go to the temple. I am sure at least they are allowing you to, do whatever you want to do with your smartphone. And nowadays, somehow, the temple is inside the smartphone. We really don't need to go to the temple also. So if your situation is like, Prahlad, and you are put with Sanda, Amarka and Hiranyakashipu, don't worry, Prahlad, you have everything inside your phone. Where do you have to go? So just hear classes, chant, but outside be nice with your parents and genuinely, not even acting, genuinely serve them. They're your parents. They're given you birth and they gave you this, human form of life, and be grateful to them. See, basically parents, what they really want is they want to make sure that you are safe, secure, you do well in your life. Since now they don't know what is spiritual life, so they just want to see that you are materially okay. If you can just make sure and prove it to them that I'm materially fine, don't worry, I won't become sadhu, they are fine with you. They're only worried that this guy may shave his head and become brahmachari. Basically, that's their worry. That's why they're stopping you from going to the temple. So give them that assurance, I won't, I'll stay here only, I don't plan to do that, and they'll be fine. Okay? Okay, what I understand your question in one line is usually Shankaracharya means we think that he's an impersonalist, and how come he came up with Jagannathashtakam? So what are we supposed to address him as? Like when we give classes also we talk about Shankara. But if you see the paradoxes, even Shankaracharya is the one who recited or composed Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. So definitely we know he's Lord Shiva and we know he's Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. So next time if somebody comes up with this point and tell us Shankaracharya was impersonal, we can always tell them that look, Shankaracharya composed Bhaja Govindam and Jagannathashtakam, and he was a devotee. So basically at that particular moment what was required was done by him. At that moment what was required, that philosophy was propagated, keeping in mind the time, place, situation and circumstance. But we all know as devotees that Shankaracharya is Lord Shiva, and this is all the more a proof of it, the Jagannathashtakam and the Bhaja Govindam. So yeah, so that's our take on it. We don't talk much about him. We stick with our Sampradaya and Madhvacharya and we talk about it. If anybody has some questions, we can always talk about how Shankaracharya is also a devotee by heart. And till the end of his life also, he was singing Bhaja Govindam. So we can always say that, and that is actually plus point for our preaching when we quote that. Okay, any other question or shall we close it here? Okay, quick, one line answers. Yes. Yes.
First of all, I'm very thankful to you for listening this beautiful Jagannathashtakam meaning from you. And my question is, as you said that Krishna stays in Vrindavan, but Radharani feels the separation of Krishna. After when Krishna leaves Vrindavan, then what is then where is Radharani? As she got married to other men, so what is the position?
So your question is that Radharani feeling separation from Krishna, and in front of her visibly Krishna went to Mathura and she was suffering pangs of separation from Krishna. So what happened ultimately to Radharani? So what happened? She was there as cursed by Sridham, Is it not? You remember that pastime of what happens in Goloka Vrindavan when Krishna goes and meets what's her name? Viraja. Krishna goes and meets Viraja, and then when he comes back, Radharani doesn't want to meet, and then there is a fight, and then when Radharani wants to go and meet Krishna, then I think it's Sridham, right? Sridham who stops, and then she curses Sridham, and then Sridham becomes Chankachuda, and then Sridham curses Radharani that you will also suffer separation from Krishna. So that's how Radharani, it's all Leela. For them, 100 years in the material world means it may be hardly like maybe a minute, Radharani doesn't get allowed to see Krishna. So yeah, in this world, in the Bhu Vrindavan, for around 100 years, Radharani had to bear the separation from Krishna. And after that, we read in so many places that after killing, Dantavakra, the final thing, Krishna left all this, Dwarka Vesha, and he became again Vrindavan boy, and he came to Vrindavan and he met all the Vrajavasis, and then he took them back home, back to Godhead. So this is what happened to Radharani. As far as her marriage with Abhimanyu, I was reading somewhere that Abhimanyu also is a part of Krishna. He is an expansion of Krishna. But all this has been done and portrayed just to add more spices and rasa to the Leela. Because this is some, it's a paramour love, and it's a little bit more they just want to add spice to the whole story, unless there is a villain, and then only hero and heroine will get importance. If there is no Jatila, Kutila, Abhimanyu villain, then there is nothing interesting. There should be some perfect soap means, perfect movie means there should be villain and fighting and songs and everything should be there. So this is how it's made to attract the jivas like us to go back home, back to Godhead. So yeah, this is what happened. And also the love in separation is very sweet. When a person is right in front of us, we cannot understand so much the value, but when the person is not there in front of us, then that is very higher love. Of course, in the case of Radharani and all, they love Krishna so much even when Krishna is in front, but when Krishna is not there, they love him all the more, and that is a different rasa. So that's just the experience of that rasa. Yes, next question. some important classes, then mix with these classes, and which to prioritize. If you're going to get a certificate, better you prioritize that class, otherwise you won't get initiation. If it's a ISKCON, today in our Vizag temple also, all the devotees just wrote IDC exam. So one by one, after writing exam, they're joining in my class and they're sitting. So all of them, they missed my class today because they had to write exams. So see, the local authorities are very important in any temple. If the local authorities have organized some class, you should always give priority to them. They are your well-wisher and they're planning your Krishna conscious journey. If they have felt that today that class is important, kindly attend that class. And regarding this classes, some of the classes are available next in the YouTube also. So you can just wait and, because if it's something which cannot be missed, like you said, some are important classes, so you may attend, whatever it is, follow your local authority. That's very important. Local authority, they are your well-wisher and they know where you are, what is required at what time. Kindly follow them. Thank you. Okay, so your question is that suppose somebody is criticizing us and we are simply mentioning it to our parents, okay, this is what somebody has been talking about me. So is it a bad karma? No, you're just sharing it with somebody. This is what, but it's just make sure that you just say whatever it is as it is without adding anything more to it. And then that should be fine. And then we don't add our comments to it in the sense that, see, she spoke about me like that, but she's also like that, na? She's also like that, but she spoke about me like that. So that should be avoided. At the same time, you want to share it with your parents or your friends, you can just say, this is what happened. But you can avoid commenting on anybody's personal character. Okay, but she's like that, but she spoke about me like that. So like that. See, the whole point is, I understand this is very painful when somebody says something about us. But the whole point is, every time somebody says something about us, we should become doctors. Like a doctor goes to a patient. Imagine a doctor, you are giving a DTP, polio drops or some injection. Sometimes what happens, small children, they kick the doctor on the face also. Sometimes on the nose also when they are, they're putting those drops. But the doctor doesn't mind. A doctor doesn't beat the child back. Hey, why you are beating me, The doctor knows the child is unaware. The doctor is a well-wisher. He wants to give the drops or the injection to the child. So similarly, whenever somebody is criticizing us, we should try to get into that mood. It's okay, they don't know, they're under the influence of the three modes. So we have to try and forgive. I know it is very hard to actually apply and easy to say, but that's the goal. If we want to become Krishna's favorite devotees, then that's the bar, where we forget and forgive everybody. See, even in the scriptures it says what is a summary of a woman? It says narasya abharnam rupam, rupasya abharnam gunam, gunasya abharnam gnanam, gnanasya abharnam shama. The beauty of a woman is when she can forgive. That's a beauty. So you are in a female body, all the more it is required that we forget and forgive. I don't know what's your marital status, but if you are not married or you're going to get married, as a woman you have lot of responsibilities. Unless and until you develop those qualities now, in future also you'll have to manage with two families, or if you're already managing, I don't know your marital status, but such a big responsibility. So woman has to be most tolerant, most patient and most forgiving. So if somebody is criticizing those small things, you should not mind. If somebody is a drunk, comes and says something to you, do you mind? You will feel, oh, he's drunkard. What should I mind if he's saying something like that? Or imagine somebody is sick and is a sick person is vomiting. Will you get angry on the person? Hey, why you are vomiting? You will understand, oh, this person is sick, so person is vomiting. What can be done? Similarly, when somebody is critical about you, you should think he's sick and he's vomiting. What can be done? So you should try to have mercy instead of feeling bad about it. Why this person is behaving like that.
Yes, Mataji, I started it.
Great. Great. So you already started, and that's a great step. See, you take one step and Krishna will help you. You take one step and Krishna will help you, and he'll help you to increase your tolerance and patience more. So just start it. And don't feel that you are doing a great favor by tolerating, because ultimately whatever is coming to us is because of our previous karma. We did it. You went to the hotel, you called the waiter and you said, can you give me hot masala dosa? And when the waiter comes, you get upset. Why did you bring masala dosa? But you ordered it. So whatever is coming to us, we ordered it. So it's coming. So don't get angry about it. So when we tolerate, at the same time, we are not proud about it. Oh, I'm so tolerant. I'm so nice. That should not be there also. It's whatever is this coming back, I deserve it. That's it. But Krishna is so kind. He's not punishing me so much. Actually, I deserve more worse, but he's making it nice for me. You got it? It's difficult, but if you go on doing smaranam like that, it will help you. Okay? Okay, so I understand your problem is that in the night you're unable to sleep. So are you sleeping in the daytime? Okay, that means if you're not sleeping means you're not working hard. Those who work hard, the moment they are on the bed, the eyes are closed. That means you're not working hard. You need to work harder. You should work so hard. The moment you fall on the you fall on the bed, your eyes should get closed. Okay, now I don't know your whole history, but to tell you in one line, you can put some bhajan, Prabhupada tape. Otherwise, I'll give you one short way of getting sleep within a minute. You start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra with your mala. That's it, and you will sleep. It's a sure shot, because we can't. The moment chanting starts, we'll close our eyes, So you do that. So every day. Are Baba, I am just telling the truth. See, all our devotees here agreed. How many of you agree? All are raising hands. But this is what they are saying. Okay, so that's how it is. So you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra before sleeping, okay? Do that and put Prabhupada's tape in your room. Jai. Okay, so what I understand your question is sometimes we feel very emotional, we may start crying and so how do we know that it's genuine emotion and it's not sahajya? So the whole point is what we do after crying will estimate whether it was sahajya moment or it was a real moment. What is our action after the emotion? That's very important, because sometimes, now I'm just making some general statements. I've seen people now, one moment they are crying in Gopi Geet, and then next moment they change the channel and they're also crying when the hero dies in the movie, and then they're also crying when something else happens. They're also crying. So basically any emotional moment and they become emotional. So that is not what we are looking for. But actually a devotee, his crying is followed by action. That means he cries and then he's so inspired and enthusiastic and he wants to serve Krishna. So then when the love is following by serving, then that is genuine love. But when it is only, that emotion and crying for that moment, but afterwards we are back into our routine, I'm not saying it's bad. That's also one step. Instead of crying for some materialistic situation, here we are crying for Krishna, and every time we cry for Krishna, it will purify us. But at the same time, if it is followed by action, then we are 100% sure that we are progressing. So that means every time there is a change in our attitude and spirit of doing service after those emotional moments, that means there is actual progress happening in our spiritual life. Did I address that was your question? Yeah.
Yes, Mataji, wonderful. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, you want to take one more?
Last one. Okay, this is the last one. Yes.
Please answer the Srinivas Pulaseti Prabhu's question. Lord Jagannath, why is he not with Radharani or Lakshmi? Why is he with Balabhadra?
Okay, I'll do that. What is Devan Sohani's question? Let him ask and then I'll decide between the two questions.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Devan and Soni. I heard so.
Okay, let me understand your question. You said you're doing Mangalarati, but before doing Mangalarati, you want to do Abhishek for the Lord, is it? You want to do Abhishek for Krishna?
Yes, I want to do Abhishek, but my mother-in-law, she have like at least all the different gods, right? Shivling, Ganesh Murti, and all the other gods, everything sitting at the same Singhasan.
Okay. So do you have Radha Krishna or you have only Krishna?
I have only the baby Krishna.
Oh, you have Laddu Gopal. Okay. So do one thing. Usually Mangala Arati. See, in ISKCON, we don't do Abhishekam before Mangalarti. We do Mangalarti and then we do Abhishek and then there is Darshanarti. So regarding Laddu Gopal worship, see, if you can do Abhishek every day, great. If you can't do it, since you have already so many deities, then you try to do it on every Ekadashi. Every day. Do you do Abhishek every day? So great. So your only question is that I'm not doing it before Mangalarti, I'm doing it after Mangalarti. So go ahead and do after Mangalarti. That should be fine. Our Bal Gopal, he eats without brush and without bathing. He does that. So Bal Gopal, he can do anything because that's what Yashoda Mata used to do also. Na? You offer him all Mangal Bhog sweets. That's what we do in our ISKCON temple also. Before bathing also, deities are first, they ate sweets and all. Then the curtain opens. Then they see the devotees. Then they take bath. So there's nothing to worry, Mataji. You can go ahead and do it after Mangal Bhog also. Mangalarti also you can do it. Nothing to worry. Okay. Is it okay, Mataji? Satisfies you? Okay, great. Yeah, you can do that, and if you can satisfy your mother-in-law also and do it afterwards also, it doesn't matter. And also because the house deities, you can always do it according to the climate also. If it's very cold, let him take bath after some time without hurrying up and making him take bath early morning, like that. So that you can always manage with Gopalji. Okay, and that's it. The last question was why is Jagannath with Baladev and Subhadra and why is he not with Radharani? So yeah, this is a pastime. I told in the class also how Krishna was always talking Gopi, Gopi, Radha, Radha in the night even while sleeping. So all the 16,108 queens were thinking, are we not serving Krishna nicely? Why is always thinking about the gopis? So they went to Rohini Mata, who was there in Vrindavan when Krishna grew up there. So they asked, what is so special about Vrindavan? So she says, I don't mind to tell you, but if Krishna hears this, then he would want to run to Vrindavan and he will leave all of you. Then they said, no, we don't want that. But at the same time, we want to hear. So then they all decided that Subhadra will be standing guard, Krishna's sister, to the door. And Rohini Mata will tell all the pastimes of Vrindavan and all the queens are going to hear. That was the arrangement. So Rohini Mata started narrating the pastimes and all the queens were very happily hearing and Subhadra was hearing from the door. So while she was hearing from the door, she just lost, because she got so engrossed, she never saw that Krishna and Balaram had come back from their sabha. So they also went and stood next to her and they also started hearing. Now the katha was so nectarian that Krishna and Balaram and all, their limbs, they started melting and it going inside the body. Now that is called Mahabhava Prakash. Now there are so many symptoms, it happens when one goes in ecstasy, like the throat gets choked, faltering voice, shivering, the hairs stand on the body, crying. So many things happen. So like that, so many things were happening with Krishna and Balaram. So they changed into this form where the hands go inside and the legs go inside. And Subhadra, who was, holding her two hands like this, not allowing anybody to come, even her hands were crushed on both sides with Jagannath and Baladev. Now Narad Muni, who was going there, was going above in the sky, flying somewhere, and he saw this scene. So he came down and he said, I saw it. This is so beautiful form of yours with your eyes wide open. Why not you show this form to everybody? So Krishna promised Narad Muni, okay, I'll show this form to everybody. So that is why there is Jagannath and there is Baladev and there is Subhadra in between. And this form we see in Jagannath Puri. So this is again another story of Indradyumna Maharaj and how in the beginning 50 years of Brahma, Lord Jagannath is in the form of Nila Madhava. And another 50 years of Brahma, he is in the form of Daru Brahman. That means this deities which are carved from wood. So that same pastime what happened, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, is depicted here. So that same form of Jagannath is here, in which form he was meditating, thinking about Radharani and gopis in separation, whereas the body is of Dwarkanath, because he was in Dwarka at that time when this pastime happened. So the body is Dwarkadish body, but in the heart he's thinking about Vrindavan. So the body changed, in the form change into Jagannath. So that is why we see Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra and not with Lakshmi Devi. So I just hope this answer helps you. It's just that Jagannath is very merciful, and in certain forms of the Lord, we have certain concessions. So when we worship Radha and Krishna, there are a lot of ceremonies and rituals which need to be followed properly. But in case of Gaurnitai and Jagannath, it's more easier because they're not so strict rules to be followed. So whenever a ISKCON center starts or begin, they usually prefer to have, preaching centers to have Jagannath or Gaurnitai. Even for Grihasthas also, Gaurnitai is more preferred, or Jagannath is preferred. So it's not like that in other, that they have only Jagannath, but mostly they prefer Jagannath. But as the temple grows, then they have more deities. They have Radha Krishna also. So it's like that. And then, of course, Jagannath is very popular. Govardhan in north and Jagannath, in Puri is very famous. Is very popular Lord.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna lage. Sab Krishna, Krishna, Krishna lage. Sab Krishna, Krishna, Krishna lage. Sab Krishna